Hi Gemini, this is Belle Book and Tarot, and this is actually my very first video for you. I do want to apologize for the mess in the back. I guess this is as good as time as any to tell you all that I am going to be selling oils and body butters on my Etsy page, and that is just my workstation that you see there. That's just stuff that has to be sent out, and also more stuff that I'm creating, so it's only gonna get worse. I'm gonna find a way to make it neater behind me. But yeah, this is my first Gemini video. This is your monthly. I know we're out of the we're almost into the middle of July. So this is just what your month will probably look like moving forward. I will say I think the theme for you this month is self-honesty, or just honesty in general. I see a lot of deception around you, and sometimes you accepting lies is it's definitely you lying to yourself as well. If you know something or someone or some type of energy around you is just not genuine, you keeping it around is you lying to yourself, and I think that is what I'm seeing here for you, especially the beginning of your spread, which would be now going into the middle of the month, which is a very short period of time. It's pretty much now to next week or the week after. Yeah, so I would definitely say the Devil card for you is like where I get the most energy. And I love this deck because the Devil card here is a very beautiful card. It's a very good looking guy here you see. And if you think back to, I don't know, religion-wise, what you believe in, but in the Bible, the devil is a very good-looking person or entity. It did used to be an angel. So anything the devil offers you is something that is appealing. It's never going to be an ugly, undesirable thing. It's always going to be something you want. So that's the energy I see here for you. And there's a lot going on here. And I know Geminis are known for having, you're the twins. So I don't get that. I don't get split personalities. I do get that a lot of people are just in your ear and they're influencing you in some way, and you're just trying to figure out in what ways you're lying to yourself, who's lying to you. Yeah, I guess I should just put the camera down so you can see and I can start explaining it better. In advance, again, I apologize. I'm in the process of cleaning up all my workstations. So now I have 2 separate workstations, so bear with me. I actually should say for your video, you have the best combinations for me, because I'm big on like clarifiers, if you haven't noticed in any of my other videos. And they're just cards, when I see them together, I just love them. And they're always cards that I never think would be together. And I would say your spread has the best combinations, the best clarifiers that I have ever come across. So I should start there. Speaking of, this is the first of said combinations. You have the 7 of Swords and the 8 of Swords. This is also one of my favorite decks, too, by the way. So the 7 of Swords is typically known as the dishonesty card. Someone's trying to get over on you, or you are trying to get over on someone else. It also can be seen as a card of you having an advantage, or you kind of having to be a little sneaky, but it's almost justified. So it really depends on the other cards around you. I would say in this case, you really take a look in the mirror. I think you are not victimizing yourself, because that is what the 8 of Swords can be known for, as self-victimization, of you just feeling really bad for yourself and you imprisoning yourself in a way that you really don't need to. I would say these two together is just you getting out of that. If anything if anything or anyone has been bringing you dishonest energy, I see you looking at your life as a whole, I see you looking at yourself as a whole and just trying to really figure out in what ways you've been dishonest with yourself, in what ways you've been dishonest with other people, in what ways you've been imprisoning yourself and really holding yourself back, especially since the Six of Pentacles was your clarifier. So this is known as the give and take card, but typically it's a breadcrumbing card. I overuse that word, so I'm going to try to find another phrase, but it's you giving time and energy to one thing over another, or you accepting the bare minimum. And for me, because like I said, the big theme for you this month is honesty, I do see this as you trying to really think about where you've been diverting attention. I think this is you taking stock of your life and really trying to hold yourself accountable in some ways. I also see this as you're trying to figure out who's been giving you what. You're trying to figure out what you've been giving to other people versus what they've been giving to you. So there's this, especially with the Seven of Swords in reverse, there's this less defensive energy and more of, all right, I've been allowing things to go on for too long, and I'm going to start demanding more, because I like how the Six of Pentacles could be a good catalyst for you just demanding more in your life. You either giving more to other people because maybe, the accountability is on your end, or you really standing up for yourself and demanding that generosity also be given to you. Yeah, you have a lot of sword cards. I feel like you've shown up in your own spread a couple of times, which is a good thing for me. It means you're very present in your life. You have a very active part of your life this month, which not everybody can say. So I feel like you should commend yourself on that. Moving forward, I do see work being put in for a lot more clarity. You got the Nine of Pentacles, and it was clarified by the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords to me is just a very big, it could feel like a grand conversation almost. I think that I might just put that up because I just have too many cards here and I don't want to shake my workstation. But yeah, you're putting in work for more honesty. The Ace of Swords, it's the honesty card. It's the conversations that need to be had. It's ideas that need to be focused on. It's creativity, but in a mental state. I feel like you're revamping your mind almost. You're cleaning house. Whatever clutter is in here, this is me. I feel like this is you kind of taking it out and you kind of being more self-aware and not allowing delusions in any form here. And that takes a lot of work. And I think you're doing it so that you can get your stability back, because that was a big theme for one of the signs this month. I feel like that was a big theme for you, and it's something that you really want here. You want your stability back. It was clarified by the Four of Spring. So I should just say I do see lots of relationship cards here. And in addition to you wanting to be more honest, I do see this as these three cards here as being the work being put in to fix a relationship. The Four of Spring is the Four of Wands, and that is a very happy card. That means everything in your life is going really well, and it's a moment to celebrate. It's a reason to celebrate. So I almost see it as a really big conversation might have been had between two partners, and the result of that was just a rebirth of the relationship, like a change for the better. I'm sorry, this light is so glary. Yeah, so I almost see it as the relationship being reborn, which is it's really good. This spread here has really good energy, and I like that it comes after the Seven of Swords reversed and the Eight of Swords reversed, because it means that anything built out of honesty will most likely last. Moving forward is where things get a bit tricky, because that is where the Devil card popped up. And that is actually where I needed a lot of clarifiers, because I wanted to make sure it was what I thought it was. So again, with this card, it's a very tempting card, but if you notice the man here in the corner, just head in hands, and he's being bound by the same string that you see here in this Eight of Swords card. If you look in the mirror, you see her just tied up with this really thin piece of string, and in hindsight, you think like, all right, well, she can get out of that. That string is really thin. You see that here too. So there is this idea of, yeah, you feel bound by your temptation, but you can get out of it. And you started the month in that energy. I feel like toward the middle of the month, there is that worry and there is that potential slip up, whatever self-destructive behaviors you had, whatever vices tempted you, whatever felt comfortable but wasn't good for you. I do see it coming up and trying to tempt you again in the middle of the month. It was clarified by the King of Wands, so I do feel like this is in regards to love. I almost want to say that this is your person, or yeah, this could be the energy your person has, where they just make you feel alive and they make you feel really good, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they themselves are good for you. Yeah, this is a very fiery, passionate person. It could be a literal fire sign. And all your clarifiers came out. Here is where you showed up to me as the King of Swords. I feel like it kind of demonstrated the need to show strength, to be in your evolved self, to fight off the devil, to really look at this King of Wands and see, like, is this who I think this is? Is this who I want them to be? Or am I just deluding myself? Because the moon did come up as a clarifier as well. So you had such good inner work done here with the Seven of Swords, the Eight of Swords reversed, with the Six of Pentacles. You had that what you thought might have been a really honest conversation about the work that would be put in. Because the Ace of Swords could mean a false promise. So either one was made to you or it was short-lived. Because you did get the Five of Pentacles. So with this Six of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles, I kind of feel like you were at a crossroads with someone. You kind of had a come to Jesus moment. You had a conversation with this Ace of Swords. And you demanded more, and maybe you got it for a little bit, but with the devil here, with the King of Wands here, with the moon here, things kind of went back to what they were and to what caused this need for self-introspection, this need for accountability, this need for demanding more. Because the Five of Pentacles is you just not getting anything. It's you being left out in the cold. With the Devil card, I also see it as a warning. Maybe your temptation is in spending money, literally, especially since the Nine of Pentacles was before it. Yeah, with the Four of Wands too, that's celebration, that's partying. And it could be partying with a loved one, partying with friends. And with the Devil there's so much destructive behavior here with the moon and the Five of Pentacles. It's just almost a spiraling, going backward here. And you just really having to get in your King of Swords energy and stop things before they get back to the Seven of Swords upright and the Eight of Swords upright. Especially since following that was the Three of Swords, clarified by the Two of Pentacles. So again, with me, I go off of a mix of the traditional interpretations of cards and what I see physically. And this is definitely third party to me. With the moon being right before it, with the devil being right before it, the Five of Pentacles, with the Six of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, but regardless of whether it's in reverse. And it did show up again here as a clarifier in reverse. I do feel like there is a third-party situation. It could have even have been at the start of the spread. That could have been what the honesty conversation was about, and the Four of Wands could have been you thinking that things were going to be okay, that a choice was going to be made, because this Two of Pentacles here is somebody juggling something, and it could literally be your person juggling two people. could even be you juggling two people, and that's where all this accountability is coming from and all this honesty and reflection. But I'm seeing a third party situation here, and it's definitely going to result in this, because I feel like this for some of you, not everyone, this Ace of Swords, this Nine of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, I do see it as a false promise, a false start, especially because the moon came right after. It was something that was short-lived. So if your person changed for a little bit, then his or her temptations came back up. You started deluding yourself again with this moon energy. You started ignoring red flags. You starting to see that, all right, well, she is not giving me the love that was promised. I'm feeling alone again. And it's just back to the Three of Swords energy. Because for me, that's a hair bringer, should I say, or a start to that Eight of Swords energy. You always get this first. So I wanted to clarify, and I got the Tower. The Tower, the Seven of Swords in reverse, and the Eight of Cups. So for me, I do see this as third party, and third party that had to come to an end because it was discovered. Secrets are heavy in this spread. So it could be everyone involved is on their secret keeping energy. I almost said creeping. So yeah, someone here, or everyone here, it just all the lies come out in some way. Whoever is lying, it gets discovered. This also could be secrets coming to light as well. So it could be you that discovered your person, whatever promises they made to you beginning of the month to get out of the third party. If they were in a relationship and you were the third person and they were making false promises to get you out of this third party, you definitely find out otherwise. The Devil here is what is throwing me off, because I feel like that temptation is toward you, but it could even just be the temptation to look the other way, or the temptation to just not acknowledge that you see this Five of Pentacles, you feel this Five of Pentacles energy. It could be you knowing you have to stand in this King of Swords strength, and you know that this person is the King of Wands. The Knight of Wands is usually the player, but the King of Wands to me could be that this is the Knight, but someone who's really good at, pretending to be stable, pretending to want this Four of Wands with you, pretending to be honest. Yeah, for some of you, I do see that. Because the Tower, the Seven of Swords, regardless of whether it's in reverse, and the Eight of Cups, a big truth was found out, and someone had to walk away because of it. And it clarifying the Three of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. Someone was juggling something, or someone was juggling two people here, and you could take that as it resonates. I really don't wish anyone ever to be in a third party. It's not fun, but I feel like there's definitely beauty in the Eight of Cups, because you are walking away. As long as the Three of Swords ends in something like this, it means you are getting out of it, and your back is turned. So whoever this is done with the Tower, is done with the juggling, is done with the Seven of Swords. They're walking away from it. And I do see a new love offer. So that's why I feel like this is you, Gemini. You're dealing with a third-party situation. And I feel like it was a very long-term third-party situation, because, yeah, a long-term third party with a very nice little false start in the middle. And then immediately back to the dishonesty and the heartbreak with the Three of Swords and the Tower and the Seven of Swords again in the same spread, not too far apart. It kind of almost means that it always was there. It was just on hiatus for a little bit. I do feel that energy. So I feel like this is you walking away. I feel like you did get into that King of Swords energy, and you were very unemotional about it, very air-like, and you cut off the dishonest people. You got out of the devil in terms of temptation, and you walked away for your own health, your own mental health. Because I like that you started with the Eight of Swords in reverse, and then it just didn't come back up at all. Even though the Seven of Swords came back up, I like that the Eight of Swords didn't. Because it means that you didn't let this Three of Swords energy, this heartbreak, this loss, get you back into that self-pitying energy. And it works out because after that you get the Justice. This could actually be a Libra, but I see it more as karma comes into play. I see it as the people that lied to you, or the person that lied to you, they get found out. The truth always comes to light, and I do see that here. I also see the Knight of Cups as a love offer coming your way. And because it's with Justice, I feel like it's a genuine love offer. I feel like it's one that you can accept. Because to me, the Justice card is complete honesty. It's something that you can depend on, almost. And with this Knight of Cups, I feel like it's either you giving that love back to yourself, you being more self-aware, you knowing that, hey, I did the right thing, I'm free now, because Justice could be free. It's a victory. Some of you could also be dealing with a literal legal battle and get a victory, but I'm not seeing that at all. I just always like to throw that out there just in case. But I do see love being given to you genuinely in some form. The honesty thing is so huge for you this month, and I think you realize who and what has been lying to you once you stop lying to yourself, with the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Swords starting this. Yeah, and I feel like you cut off this devil energy as well with the Justice card, because if the devil is more dishonest and temptation and self-destructive, the Justice is just a cleansing of that. And I'll touch on that later. But I will say, right after this is the Six of Wands. So I do definitely feel like this is a love offer, because you do have the Four of Wands here too. So I feel like the Six of Wands is you getting the real thing, and you coming out victorious, and you coming out as your own hero because you had the strength to walk away from the Seven of Swords, from this devil, from this Three of Swords, from whatever this Two of Pentacles was, because it could have been you allowing yourself to be an option instead of a priority. It could have been, for those of you, even being the person that was struggling. I see it as, alright, well, maybe I got found out, I learned my lesson from this, and I'm going to be more genuine in love moving forward. And if I do offer someone love, I am going to be honest, so this can go anyway. But toward the end of the month, honest love comes into play in some fashion. With the Six of Swords, especially being next to the Nine of Cups and Justice, I kind of think of, I saw on Instagram this quote, "Go where you're celebrated and not where you're tolerated." With this Two of Pentacles being right before it and the type of option energy, I do feel like the Six of Wands is you just saying, hey, I'm on center stage. Whoever I go to next is going to appreciate me completely, and I'm going to be the only person. And I feel like this is you. This is you, standing ovation. Whoever you go to next, or whatever you do next, it could even be a job. You're in the limelight. People appreciate you. They don't overlook you. They don't breadcrumb you. And I like that you went from the Four of Wands, which could have been a false start, to the Six of Wands, which is the real thing after the Justice card. I will say there is some form of a choice you have to make the end of the month, because to clarify the Six of Wands, you got the Two of Swords and you got the Two of Wands. So a lot of swords and wands here. I don't know if you are an air sign dealing with a fire sign, or you're an air sign with fire in your chart, or however this resonates. I'm not sure. But yeah, pretty much all wands and swords. You had a couple pentacles as well. So earth sign energy too. But yeah, I'm feeling heavy on the fire sign energy. But back to your choice, I feel like this is going to be a head over a heart type of choice you have to make. Let's say this person that did have you in a third party comes back. I feel like this is a choice that's not even going to be a choice here. I feel like you know what you're going to have to do, and I also see this as you're not waiting for this person to come back either. I definitely see this as I know what I want moving forward, and I want passion, and I want the world, because I do see this as him here just standing there with the world in his hands. He knows that anything is possible. I see this as you this month, especially after having to make really hard decisions and to cut things off once and for all. I don't see this as a choice between two people. I see this as just more of, all right, I'm coming to terms with what I've done and what I've allowed to be done to me, and I'm only going to accept the Six of Wands energy, where I'm in charge and I'm the focus. Especially since the Ace of Cups is right after. And I love the Ace of Cups because to me it's just really genuine, pure love. It also could be the birth of an idea. So for those of you in business, career-wise, especially since the Five of Pentacles came up, this could be you just getting back on your feet as well. But I feel like this is more of an emotional thing. I feel like this is just you finally finding that love you deserve after a really hard period. And this to me is you putting the past to bed. If this was a third party again, or just someone who just didn't value you, maybe what they were juggling, they could have been juggling a job and you felt left out in the cold because they worked so much and you never saw them. They could have been juggling their own inner demons, had addiction issues. Just, you were being an option, you were being juggled, you weren't a priority. So this is you putting that to bed. You're done with that. And because of it, you get your Ace of Cups. I feel like the end of the month is just all about redemption. It's just all about whatever it is you weren't getting initially, you've gotten tenfold toward the end of the month. And hands down, this is my favorite combination of cards I've ever pulled. And I think this may have been the first time I have ever pulled these two cards. You got the Star. The Star clarified by Temperance. So, the Star to me, especially with Temperance, is the ultimate healing card. And I love that this is the last card after the Eight of Swords and Seven of Swords reversed was your first card. So because you started that hard inner work and really looking at yourself in the mirror and really being honest with yourself, and you overcoming your demons, or you being with someone that you realize, hey, they can't overcome their demons, I'm not going to get dragged down with them. You are the Star now. You are ending the month just completely healed and full of just love for yourself above all else. That being next to the Ace of Cups too is really good, because that means I think that inner love is going to manifest outwardly, and you're going to meet someone that loves you as much as you love yourself. You just know, you don't even have to think about it, it's coming. I don't even see this as being a patience card. I just see this as being, I'm just going to continue to heal. At the bottom of the deck, I will say the Seven of Swords came up again, but then underneath that you got the Ace of Cups. So I feel like it's just more of a reminder to get out of this energy, and also a reminder to be honest in all ways. I don't know if any of you, again, were in third-party situations. I do feel like this is just a reminder to just not settle for something like that, to not steal your own Ace of Cups, because when you settle for being in a third party, you're depriving yourself of, someone that will put you first. You're depriving someone of offering you true love, of being genuinely there for you. And you also are affecting your own karma as well, I will say that. But yeah, it's just really beautiful energy. I'm going to leave that there. And I just want to pull a few oracle cards as well. we're kind of pressed on time. Well, that one just fell out. Oh, resentment. So I see this more, this could even be someone's resentment toward you, but I see that more as you having to make sure you're just not in any type of entanglements. I know it's a big word now, entanglement, but just be careful. I will say that. Just do what you can to make sure there's no negative energy around you in any way, shape, or form. And don't hold on to any resentments of how someone may have treated you in the past, because that is also what healing is about in a way. I'm just going to pull one more oracle card, slightly smaller, so should be fairly easy to shuffle. Here we go. Soundtrack. Every hero needs their theme music, and you are no exception. What are you constantly listening to and or telling yourself? Ensure the soundtrack of your life is filled with affirmations, positivity, and motivation. I love this card for you because it just reiterates the whole theme of honesty. You want to be honest to yourself, and you only want honest people around you, and you don't want any of that resentment, and you don't want to end up having to resent someone or resent yourself for past actions. So yeah, I will definitely say that Ace of Cups is definitely coming to you regardless. Knight of Cups is on its way to you. Justice is coming to you in line with resentment. You're not going to have to feel resentment, because I do feel like karma is looking out for you. It is on your shoulder. So keep ahead of that. I want to do one more. I'm trying to do the Moonology deck for all my signs. And one more card. I feel like this is, you're very close to achieving your goal. I didn't get a lot of financial cards for you. I did kind of get that energy of being careful not to spend your money, being careful not to be tempted or go into vices. That could be you, that could be your person. But just know that you are very close to achieving your goal, so you don't want anything to get in the way of that. You don't want any people to get in the way of that. So just keep an eye out. Definitely don't let resentment hinder you either. But yeah, that is your read for this month. You can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter. My usernames are in the description box. I actually did also make a TikTok, so it's the same name, Belle Book and Tarot. And I will be back with your weekly video, mid-month video. And yeah, stay safe. Bye.